The justices of the Supreme Court, many people have seen them become, let's say, popular or gotten to know what they do, especially during election, petition. What exactly do they do behind the screens?
It may be that you only see them doing presidential because the presidential cases are more attractive to the public. And some of the cases where you have seen them are those cases where they are attractive to the public, but they are quietly there working.
How many cases so far are before the Supreme Court, and how many cases are allocated to each of the justices?
They have cases close to 100 cases.
Out of the 100 cases that the Supreme Court has recorded or registered this very year, how many cases are they supposed to handle per year?
Those cases include civil and criminal. A civil case is where the matter is between individuals or a company, for example, where someone has borrowed, for example, money from a bank, has not paid back, and the bank has gone to court. Then from High Court, you can appeal up to Supreme Court. There are some appeals which can also come from the lower courts and go up to the Supreme Court. So those are civil cases. Criminal is where, for example, murder, rape, which have started from the High Court and gone to the Court of Appeal and then to the Supreme Court. I've seen many people confusing the East African Court of Justice as the court where you can go after you have lost in the Supreme Court. The East African Court of Justice does not connect to the Supreme Court. It has its particular cases it handles.
In case, let's say, the Court of Appeal, let's say there is a gap, and they need a hand, is it possible judiciary to do such a thing where the Supreme Court judges can come and give a hand to a lower court?
The Supreme Court does not give a hand to the Court of Appeal. But where the Supreme Court is constrained, the President can temporarily appoint a Court of Appeal justice to sit in the Supreme Court for a specific case and then go back.
When you look at the structure of the Supreme Court and the number of cases that they have, considering that other lower courts are grappling with a case backlog challenge, should we say that the Supreme Court is also facing a similar challenge?
Sometimes they face that challenge, but it's not as it is, especially like in the Court of Appeal.
Knowing that it's human nature, you can't all move at the same pace. Is there no time or a possibility of some working more than others?
That's why it is a consensus court. So when they sit in a case, after hearing the submissions of both sides, they retreat and agree on who should be the person to write the lead judgment.
Tell us about the structure of the Supreme Court. How does it look like?
The Supreme Court, right now the structure that we have stops at 11 justices. We have two justices so far who have passed on, and we are left with 9. And like I explained, they sit in panels. Some of them sit in panels, and some of the cases require a minimum of 5 of them. Now the justices are also human beings. Sometimes they can fall sick. Sometimes they can be delayed by various things, and they are not able to sit on the panel. So that delays the hearing of the cases. But we are trying to expand the structure to have 21 justices.
Thank you so much for according us your time.
You're welcome.